So the goes a saying in the UK, it's either already raining or it's about to start raining, and that has been very true over the last few weeks. It's been incredibly wet. The allotment is like a swamp. Many parts of the UK have experienced quite bad flooding due to storm. So one second. Storm Henk. Who names these storms, honestly? Storm Henk hit the UK a few days ago and we had a lot of rain. So it's been difficult to come down to the allotment and get jobs done. Although I have done a few jobs on my mum's plot, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Been doing some DIY on there, quite exciting stuff. So yeah, it's been very, very wet. It's been raining every single day. Getting a little bit sick of it, to be honest. Just typical British weather. It is supposed to turn dry though, apparently, in the next few days. Dry, but cold and frosty. I'll take that over rain. Don't like the rain very much. So this video is a bit of a ramble, complaining about the British weather, and then I'm going to show you a couple of things which I've been up to as well. Really exciting stuff. A couple of things I've been doing at home, little projects which I'm going to share with you today. But before we get into this little video, I'd just like to say a big thank you to the new subscribers on the channel. The channel gained about 200 new subscribers earlier this week, soon after I posted that video of what you can sow in the month of January. I'm not too sure why that video did so well, but it's actually my third most viewed video on the channel, which is really interesting. But yeah, I gained about 200 new subscribers from that video, so thank you very much for your support, and I hope that you can find the content on my channel useful, and I hope you can enjoy the content on my channel in the future as well. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and you'll never miss whenever I upload videos every single week, and the support really means a lot, so thank you very much. So because it's been so wet recently, the paths would have been really, really soggy and wet if it wasn't for all these wood chip which I put down. So I'm really glad that I wood chipped these paths a couple of months ago. Otherwise I would have been sinking in all the mud. So that's a job which I'm glad that I did. Because it's been so mild through December, look at all these spring bulbs which are popping up now. We've got alliums and daffodils all starting to pop up along the front of the plot here. Look at that, crazy. They're in for a shock next week when it turns much colder. So these are the raised beds which I built last week. There are 4 of them. And 2 more of them down here. So this is what I was up to during Christmas week, building these beds. So 4 of them here. I've got 2 more of them to build. I need to line them, and then we need to start filling them up. Probably going to use the hugelkultur method. You know, I'm going to put like wood, twigs, horse manure and stuff like that at the bottom half, and then top them up with topsoil. Probably get a delivery of topsoil. Although we're going to have to be very careful where we buy it from. Definitely going to get it from a trustworthy supplier, because I have had a couple of dodgy loads of topsoil on my plot from various different sellers, a couple of different sellers. Like I found a chicken drumstick in one lot of topsoil, and then I found a tea towel in another bag of topsoil, nuts and bolts and bits of glass, bits of brick and all sorts, honestly. But the chicken drumstick was definitely the worst thing to find in a batch of topsoil. Raw chicken drumstick as well, with the meat on. So yeah, that was a bit random. Not too sure why that was in there, but anyway. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing with these. I need to line them with a damp-proof membrane, and then yeah, filling these bad boys up is the next job. Pretty nice sized raised beds. So it's going to be 6 raised beds. Okay, so it's starting to get dark now, as you can probably see. It's pretty cold, very, very damp. It's like Shrek's swamp on here. I feel like Shrek's going to jump out from the corner of the allotment and chase me out of the allotment. It's that wet on here. So we're going to go home now, and I'm going to show you a couple of exciting things at home. I'm going to show you the grow light system, and then I'm going to show you how I'm starting my pepper seeds. I'm starting them a little bit differently to the way some other people might do them. I've got a little method which I like to do to get them started off. So let's go home and I'll show you that now. Okay, so we're at home now and we're in this spare room, and this is what I've been doing over the last week. I've been setting up this grow light system. I'm not using every shelf yet, I've just turned the lights on just to show you all. We only actually have onions growing on here at the moment, which are just starting to pop up now. Yeah, just starting to pop the heads up now on these trays. Got the heated propagator under there. They're just starting to pop up there, so I'm going to be taking the lids off them soon. So what I'm using here, I'm just using basic LED lights. I've got 2 on each shelf, and yeah, it's no fancy grow lights or anything like that. I've got 8 of them in total, 4 shelves up there, and it's this chrome wire shelving that I'm using. Nothing crazy expensive, only cost me £79 for the shelf, and the 8 lights were only £60. And you know, they're really good, ultra bright, 6000K or whatever, I can't remember exactly, but they're really bright. Not full spectrum, but I don't need full spectrum for what I'm doing here. I'm only getting these started off, you know, getting them to a good size before they go to the allotment. I'm not growing a full crop of tomatoes under here, so I don't really need full spectrum. So yeah, that's what I've been up to there. Really exciting stuff. This should give us a really good head start on the growing season. I'm going to be growing all sorts of different things on here. The onions will be going to the allotment probably end of February, March maybe, and they'll be going in the greenhouse. And there's going to be peppers, tomatoes, melons, squash, aubergines, different flowers, all sorts, many more things than that as well. So really exciting stuff. I can't wait to get this loaded up, get everything growing on here for the growing season. And I'll be doing updates on this as well. I'll be doing weekly updates or updates every couple of weeks on the progress, how things are going on this shelf. Really exciting stuff. Can't wait to share the progress with you all. I've got a couple of fans on there. They're just cooling fans for like computer cooling fans. I've got a couple of those on there just for aeration. I've got a dehumidifier, which I'm going to probably set up in here because it will get quite humid in here with all the plants and stuff. So I'm going to set that up as well in the corner. I'll probably set another fan up in the corner of the room somewhere for some more airflow, because I don't want mould to start growing on the tops of these, and I don't want damping off either. And in fact, that's one reason why I'm using vermiculite, to you know, prevent damping off. The growing mediums which I'm using are also quite sterile. The vermiculite is, but also the cocoa coir as well, which I'm using in my potting mix. I'm going to do a separate video on my potting mix as well and how I do it, and I'm probably going to get some trays as well to go underneath the pots so there's no water dripping down. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys that. Let me know in the comments what you think, and have you got a grow light set up at home to get your vegetables off to a head start in the growing season? Let me know, because I'd love to know, and I'd love for you to share that with me as well. And this is how I'm starting off my peppers and aubergines. This is how I like to do them. This is my way of doing it. I'm actually putting the seeds on some damp tissue paper, and I'm putting them in these bags, in these sealed bags here. They've not sprouted yet. They've only been in here a couple of days. I expect they'll start sprouting in another day or two. And I'm keeping them in our boiler cupboard in the kitchen. Stays nice and warm in there, so these should be sprouting very soon. I like doing this because I feel like I've got more control. I'm not having them seeds sat in compost and possibly rotting, which I've had happen many times in the past. Because, you know, if I'm starting these off in trays and pots, I have to worry about getting the soil warm and you know, keeping it warm so them seeds germinate and don't rot. This way, with the warm temperatures in the boiler cupboard, these will sprout, and once they've sprouted, I'll put them in my pots or trays or whatever I'm growing these peppers and aubergines in. The aubergines are in there, this is just the peppers. And another reason I like to do this is because it removes the need to thin out seedlings. Now with things like tomatoes, I will sow 2 per module or 2 per pot, and then I will thin out the weakest one and leave just 1 in the pot or in the module. So I know I've always got 1 tomato plant growing in each module. But with peppers, you know, there's only like 8 seeds of each variety. They're quite stingy with the pepper seeds, so I don't want to be thinning out peppers and, you know, removing plants that are perfectly fine, and, you know, killing plants that are perfectly fine. So this way, if any of these seeds don't germinate, I can discard of them, and any that do germinate, I can just pot 1 in each pot, and then I know that I've got 1 in each pot, and that means I'm not going to be killing any pepper plants off. So I don't need to thin them out, and that's why I like to do this with things like peppers and aubergines. That is my way of doing it. So yeah, faster germination. I don't need to thin them out because I can see what's sprouted and what hasn't sprouted on the tissue, and also I'm not going to get any seeds rotting in the compost. So yeah, let me know how you do it. This is how I do it. So this is inside our boiler cupboard, and I'm just putting them on top of there. It doesn't get too hot, nice and warm. Doesn't burn the seeds, it's not any fire hazard or anything like that. The aubergines are in that little pot there, in some tissue paper, like that. On top of the boiler cupboard, in there, nice and warm. Let me know how you start off your peppers and aubergines, I'd love to know. That's how I like to start mine off. So they'll be sprouting in the next couple of days, and then I'll get them potted up, the ones that are sprouted, and then we're off and running with our peppers and aubergines under the grow lights. So really exciting stuff.